All right. Top 5 greatest NBA finals of all time.
All right.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm going to say number 5, actually. I'm going to go number 5. 2010 Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers. And
Good finals.
I think it is too. And obviously, favorite team is the Boston Celtics. And we'll talk about something later. But that whole finals, to me, there was one game with Ray Allen going off in the first quarter actually. Like almost like hitting like 7 threes, 8 threes in a row.
Yeah. That
game destroying Kobe, but
I mean, at the end of the day, the Lakers pull it out and win that series. That series was huge for them because it was Kobe's back-to-back without Shaq. Kind of elevated Kobe to be probably the greatest Laker of all time. You can argue Magic Johnson, of course. But it was also that payback he had against the Celtics from 2008. Like, he was itching for them to come back to the finals so he could kick their ass. But, yeah, it was great finals overall, though.
No, it was. They had such a good team, the Lakers, that year.
Oh, yeah, such a great team. Now, my number 5 is the 2011 NBA Finals, Mavericks versus the Heat. Now, I'm not a big LeBron James fan. So seeing him have the worst finals performance of any superstar in history was great for me to see.
Yeah.
Especially after the whole, like, I'm coming to Miami, I'm going to win all these titles.
I love when he came to Miami. Like, now he's in the Lakers, like, only won, like, one championship since, like, Cleveland or whatever. And when he was with the Heat before, like, he was going, like, they had that whole, like, on stage thing with the 3, and they were like, nah, he's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5, he goes all the way to 7 or 8. Only won one championship and left him after that.
And also, like, the biggest headline of that NBA Finals was if LeBron James could guard Jason Terry. Couldn't guard Jason Terry.
For some weird reason.
He just could not guard Jason Terry. But let's not forget, it was Dirk. Dirk carried that series, was a freaking animal. So much fun to watch. That's why it's my number 5.
Yeah. All right, so going to number 4. My 4th is the 1998 Chicago Bulls versus Utah Jazz.
Oh, yeah.
And that's such a classic finals.
Oh, like, with the shot. The greatest shot.
Michael Jordan's last season with the Bulls. Last run, last dance is what they would call it.
In my opinion, it is the last Michael Jordan season. I don't really count the Wizards years.
I mean, he actually played good with the Wizards, which is actually
no, he did.
Which
he
is
averaged
crazy.
He averaged 20 points,
which is crazy to see because it was getting towards that era where like all these players are just like a little different play style going on. Like like I mean, it was still physical, but like you could see it like all those rules coming, like all the change, like with all those physicality coming in, but. He's still dominant. He was still dominating how old he was. I don't know. He's like 40 something.
Yeah. Now back to that finals '98.
Oh yes, and but yeah, going back to that finals with Michael Jordan's last shot. That whole crossover. I don't know who it was, but people saying it was called a push off every time.
It was not a push.
It was not a push off at all. But man, one of the most craziest like iconic shots ever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In the NBA finals.
100%.
But Utah Jazz were such a good team. Karl Malone and John Stockton, they were hard to play against in that finals, honestly. I mean, the first 2 games, though, the second game, they like won by like almost like 40 in game 2.
Yeah.
And then just shit hit the fan and they started to come back, push them to the wall, but Michael Jordan had to finish it off with something special.
Yeah, he did. So now my number 4. I just got done talking about how I don't like LeBron.
Yes.
But my number 4 is the 2016 Cavs versus Warriors.
Okay.
The 3-1 comeback. Like I said, I just got done talking smack about LeBron James, but this is one of the best finals performances of all time.
Yeah.
Coming back from 3-1. Like, who does that? That's the first time in NBA history that's happened.
Now almost every team's doing it. Now,
now
it's like if people expect it to happen.
Yeah, even though it's happened only once, but like
it's happened actually. No, there was one team. There was another 3-1 game like in the first round like a year or 2 ago.
Oh, but not the finals.
No, not the finals.
Not the finals.
No, but like I'm saying, like there's been like 2 or 3 that been a couple. Comebacks from 3-1.
Yeah, but
not
like,
the finals, yeah.
But like that iconic image after the Cavs go down 3-1 of LeBron on ESPN with his glasses on, earbuds in, straight cold face. Like, he meant business after
He did.
that. Only time in his career I felt like he meant business.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, one of the greatest series of all time.
Yep. And also, let's just get mine out of the way for the number 3. Mm-hmm. Mine was also 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers versus Golden State Warriors as my number 3.
Mm-hmm.
But which you mentioned all that about LeBron. That was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the finals. But that block that he had.
Oh, that chase down back
Andre
block.
Iguodala in Game 7. Like,
that chase down was amazing.
It was crazy. But number 3 was also my Cleveland versus Golden State in 2016.
Yeah. So my number 3, we're gonna do a little time travel back to 1984.
Okay.
The Celtics versus the Lakers.
I like that.
The year before, Magic Johnson, the Lakers won the NBA Finals. But guess who was sitting on his couch at home watching those finals?
Larry Legend.
Larry freaking Bird was sitting there watching those games on his couch, and you knew he meant business the next year. Following year, 1984, Celtics come in. Larry Bird plays fantastic. I think he averaged 27 points a game, 12 rebounds, like 2-3 steals. Like, he was ready. And
he was.
That series also solidified that the 80s was going to be all about the rivalry between Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Celtics versus Lakers.
Yeah.
That kind of just like solidified what the rest of the 80s was going to look like.
Such a good finals, though.
Oh, amazing. One of the most iconic of all time.
Mm-hmm. So, my number 2, we're going to go back to the 2010 era still. Loved one of my favorite eras. It's so fun to watch. 2013 Miami Heat versus San Antonio Spurs. And to start off, I mean, LeBron, one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, but he got saved by Ray Allen.
By my favorite player of all time, Ray Allen, hitting that nice-ass corner 3.
To save LeBron James' career.
LeBron missed that 3. Chris Bosh with that rebound. I remember the announcer just calling that game. It was... I remember word for word, but I'm not going to say all of it, but... I love that game so much.
No, it's such a great series.
But they were down 3-2. Like, if Ray Allen missed that shot, imagine like what would have happened. Like,
LeBron would have lost again in the finals.
There was still a little bit of time on the clock, but there could have been like so many different outcomes after that. But Ray Allen just... It was
like LeBron would have lost the finals again. Like, that would have been a huge damper on his career, especially after coming to Miami.
I mean, imagine like if LeBron lost that finals, like...
What do you think
he'd be on the Heat? Go back to Cleveland, get all those championships.
Nobody knows. He probably would have tried to build a super team somewhere else.
Yeah.
He probably would have gone the Lakers earlier.
Maybe.
But I don't know if Kobe would allow that.
Kobe would not allow that.
All right, so my number 2. My whole list could have been the Chicago Bulls from the 90s. That could have been all 5.
Anyone's could have.
It could have been all 5. But if I had to pick just one of those finals... Mine is the 1991 Bulls versus Lakers. Now, this finals showed that Michael Jordan was now the player in the league. Coming up against Magic Johnson, great way to have your first win.
Yeah.
And just showing Magic Johnson's like, hey, you're in the past. This is my town now.
Yeah.
This is my league. You're old. You're irrelevant. It's my time. It's my time. And it just and also that series kind of like solidified what the rest of the 90s would also look like, with Michael Jordan becoming the greatest of all time.
It was his time.
So, yeah. It was his time.
Yep. So, number 1...
I think we might have the same number 1.
I'm not going to be surprised at all if we have the same number 1, but 2008 Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep, that's mine too.
When we were kids, like, we used to watch like all the old school games the most, honestly.
We watched more like 80s 90s games on that, what was it, the NBA Classics channel, something like that. Yeah. It was my favorite TV channel growing up. Minus, like Disney and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like we watched those games more than we did like regular live NBA games.
Yeah, we watched more of those, but then like
that's how we became Celtics fans.
Yeah. But just watching Larry Bird on the sides are so cool. But going back to our number 1, just one of the craziest games I've seen, like with Game 6, with Boston winning Game 6, but how good of a defensive threat Rajon Rondo was in that game.
Oh yeah.
Like Kobe was like, I mean Kobe's team at that time with Paul Gasol, like they were getting at that time like they're in their prime, getting up there. But
Kobe let's not forget about who else was on that team. Coached by Phil Jackson.
No, I know.
Lamar Odom, Kobe, Pau Gasol, Derek Fisher. Who else was on that team? I can't remember. But they're all studs.
There was some shooter with like, I can't remember his name, and I probably won't be able to pronounce it if I remember it. But he was a spot down shooter. But going back to what I was saying with Game 6, I mean, actually going back to the Lakers, like honestly, Kobe he was trying to carry that team through thick and thin because like I said, they were at that. I mean,
he won MVP that season.
I know, but like they were getting to their prime. I mean, I'm not saying their team was like, bad. It's not like I'm saying LeBron was with Cleveland. LeBron trying to carry Cleveland through the whole playoffs, but Kobe was trying to carry that team against the Boston Big Three. But I still think it's the Big Four with Rondo and that.
Nah, not
that time. Two more years, and that's the Big Four right there.
Yeah, no,
2012.
But like, also, like as a Celtics fan, like growing up and then seeing Celtics and Lakers in the finals. First time Boston's been in the finals in like 21 years. Like it's not the most. 2008 was not the most iconic NBA finals of all time. But, like, it just holds a special place in my heart for that, just for being a Celtics fan.
Favorite chant of that whole game was beat LA.
Oh,
beat
yeah.
LA.
Oh, yeah. And then at the very end of the series, Kevin Garnett screaming that iconic line, anything's possible. Like,
so good.
So iconic.
I love it.
Yeah. And I think that leads us into a very disappointing finals for us Celtics fans. With Boston back in it again.
Yeah.
But losing to the Golden State Warriors, very disappointing as a Celtics fan, especially in Boston, losing out. I knew the series was over when they lost Game 5. There was no way they had to win Game 5 because there's no, even if they got to Game 7, there was no way they were winning Game 7 at Golden State. But let's not forget, like, Steph Curry is.
No,
he's a different breed. Like, He's the greatest shooter of all time. We've known that for a couple years.
Yeah, I was following him when he was saying he wasn't calling himself the greatest shooter of all time until he got that record. Like a couple of when was that? Was it this year or last year?
I think it was this year.
It was this year against it was at Madison Square Garden too when he did it, which is. I love that.
And let's not forget the Warriors had the worst record in the West at one point in the season.
So did Boston too.
That's insane to me.
Like those two teams were playing awful the first because I remember the first half of the season it was the first 28 games or like almost 40 games actually, and Boston was ranked 12th in the East.
Yeah. But you could also, with this finals, you could see experience versus non-experience.
No, not a single person on Boston went to the finals at all. Not a single one.
Nope. And then but you also like the turnovers. Tatum just wasn't. I just felt like Tatum wasn't there. Like he had a couple of really good games, but like he just wasn't. I just felt like he wasn't present and ready to win.
I want to say it right now though. Me personally, I think Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. I think
potential-wise, no, but right now
I'm saying like consistently, like with this consistency, Jaylen Brown is better consistently.
Yeah, no, Tatum will have 4 games in a row where he's dropping 30, almost 40 points,
and then he has like 8 points,
and then he has 8 points shooting like 4 of 20 from the field.
Yeah, and he gets like 20 shooting like 8 for like.
Why can't you stay consistent? But I feel like this is probably one of the best things to happen to Jason Tatum because in the whole Boston Celtics, now they're going to come back and they're going to be ready because they've been there now.
Oh, yeah.
They know what to expect. They know how to get there. And now we got to learn from
I'm not saying it's because I'm a fan. They're going to go again there next year, I think.
You think so?
I think so.
You want to make that prediction now?
I do want to make that prediction.
All right. I'm very pessimistic Celtics fan, so I don't want to say that quite yet.
I mean, with Marcus Smart and Al Horford's leadership, like we need to keep those. We need to keep those 4 together: Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. Like we need to not get rid of. Honestly, I think we need a better point guard. It's or just better, better role players.
They need a real point guard.
I think Derek White's a great role player. But like I saw the other bench, like Peyton Pritchard,
they need a bench.
Celtics need a bench. That's what I'm saying. Because like when I saw the games last night, I saw the stats. Like 5 or 6, 7 players played 1 minute each last night. And like I mean, I get it was probably like at the end of the game when they were down like 30, but like we need like more of those guys to come off the bench, like in games too, to have more opportunity to like actually like get our like stars rested.
Yes.
Because that's what he does. Like that's what Steve Kerr does with Curry. He rests him like pretty much like half the fourth quarter damn near, or like third quarter, whatever it is, and that's how Curry dominates at the end of the game. That's what he did last night. That's what he does every game.
Do you want to also like to see with both these teams? Their main core players were all drafted and have stuck with their team.
Yeah.
And you can see the results. And it's great to see instead of all these wimpy NBA players bouncing back and forth between teams trying to win a title. It's nice to see at two teams that have dedicated players that
each other. That's why this NBA Finals to me was like so like again, favorite team, I get it, who cares? I mean, we love Boston. We're so happy they were there. But both those teams fought to get what they got, especially the Warriors. Like I love Steph Curry and I love the Warriors. Yeah. But I'm still fucking pissed about what happened. But
I'm still hurt. I feel like I'm in the denial phase, but
yeah, but like Steph Curry deserves all of this.
Oh, 100%. He carried
He deserves all of
this. He carried the entire Warriors.
Klay Thompson last night played so bad.
He
5 for 20
my opinion, he didn't play great for most of the series.
He had like there was one game he had like 30-something points.
Yeah, one game.
Yeah, no,
one game.
Yeah, and they lost that game I think too because Curry played awful.
Yeah.
No, actually Curry played awful and they still won. Never mind.
Yeah. But like that series was all Curry.
Yeah, I was just excited when we were up 2-1 Boston.
Yeah, but
and then they lost 3 in a row.
3 in a row, baby. Yeah, that series was an emotional roller coaster.
It's just experience.
Now, speaking of a roller coaster of emotions, something that's been a little up and down for me, but I think it's been getting to a point where I might end up enjoying it, is something that we absolutely love.
Get to it.
Sorry,
Please.
It's got to be a big
I want to talk about it right
now.
It's got to be a big... After Wednesday, I want to talk about it right now.
But it's a big intro. You got to celebrate.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Star
Space
Wars,
Jesus, baby.
Space Jesus.
I love him.
Back. Ewan McGregor is back. Space Jesus, ready for Obi-Wan Kenobi. To say I was excited for this show was an understatement. I personally wanted a movie.
They were going to make a movie first.
But the fact that you bring Ewan McGregor back, Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, I was so excited.
It was so cool.
So many emotions, happy, excited, anxious, all of it. It was there. And then first 2 episodes drop. I was a little underwhelmed.
I was skeptical about the series.
I was very skeptical. I was kind
of... Excuse you.
Fuck me, man. Man, Ewan McGregor, man.
That's standing.
Space Jesus. I'm sorry. So what else? After the first 2 episodes, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then I thought about it, and I thought about it some more. Then I ended up rewatching the show, the first 2 episodes. And I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes.
No, they were
I had problems with the Moses Ingram Reva character. Moses Ingram, great actress. I know she's a great actress. She has a movie that she's in called it's with Denzel Washington, Tragedy of Macbeth. She's fantastic in that movie. So I know she can act really well, but this Reva character was just so monotone and I didn't like her. But like I still had hope for her as a character because it was only the first 2 episodes. Yeah. So I was ready to see, but like it was great to see Ewan McGregor back. How'd you feel about the first 2 episodes?
Honestly, like I was just reliving some memories. Honestly,
yeah.
Because like I mean, with the first episode specifically, like it was just showing like what happened after the 3rd movie. Like I love that they just like, I mean, after 10 years of what it was, like 10 years after the Order 66, whatever it was, and I just love how they just showed him like going through life, how he's like trying to cope with his like what he has done in the past, what like he suffered through, doing the same thing constantly every day, just going from like this, just having one goal, protecting Luke and Tatooine, and
then he also uses that as an excuse to not go help Leia because he feels so defeated.
Yeah, I know.
Like when Organa calls him, it was like, hey, Leia got kidnapped. I need you to come help me and rescue her. And he's like, no, I gotta stay here to protect Luke. Yeah. I'm like, that's not. You're using that as an excuse because you're scared to go back out there and help, so you can see the emotional problems. Also with
that one scene when that random Jedi showed up, like when he was just walking through the desert, he showed up like saying that he needs your help, like we could take the Inquisitors down while they're here, and he's just telling like to just stop, run away, just live a normal life, just it's over.
Yeah.
He was done. He had no other he had nothing else to do. Like he had nothing like driving him to keep going besides Luke, but that's it.
Yeah, and then now going into episode 3. Now episode 3 was amazing. It was so good. Amazing. Vader coming back and is a menace to society. Man. It's great to see that he is still killing kids after all these years. After Orders,
it's kind of weird that he looks like he enjoys it.
I know, like the way, and I'm surprised Disney allowed this. Like he's just walking through this town. He snaps his kid's neck.
The funny thing,
I'm like, whoa.
The funny thing to me about that scene is like he just like grabs the dad out of the there, and he just sees the kid walks out. He's like, oh bet,
oh bet, child, snap. I'm like, wow,
oh my god, like wow. But with Disney, like I'm glad. I mean, I get it. It's Disney. Like they gotta like keep it a little, Mickey Mouse crap, whatever. But yeah. I love that they're kind of expanding this a little bit
to make it a little more edgy. It's nice to see that they're trying.
Because honestly, like I think
especially with how Disney Star Wars has been, especially in the movies, I feel like have been absolute crap.
But like
except for Rogue One and Solo, but 7, 8, 9, they don't exist. They're not real movies. We're not even gonna talk about that.
But going back to what I was talking about, like with all these shows that they're releasing. Like to me, like their audience is mostly like us now, like more like this age, like a little adult age. Like they're like those shows are going towards that audience, and I think they should notice that more. Because
but you can't. But Star Wars was originally made for kids, so you can't discount the kids.
No, I know,
but like, they need to find a middle ground so everybody enjoys them.
I know, and I think Obi-Wan's actually doing a pretty good job with that. I think they're doing okay with that.
Yeah, no, and then but like episode 3. And those parallels in that fight with Vader and Obi-Wan with Vader dragging Obi-Wan through that fire. And, man. It was
the way
amazing.
He just like has him up, but he's just staring at him while he's going to light it up on fire.
Yeah. No, then I also, after episode 3 ended, there was a lot of like complaints about like why didn't when Obi-Wan was escaping with that robot, why Vader didn't just go through the fire, blow it away like he did before. I thought what they were going to do was...
He was recharging.
Just kidding. I thought what they were gonna do was show like, oh, that's Anakin in the suit.
Yes.
Like that's Anakin just showed up and like didn't know what to do, and I thought that's what was gonna be the catalyst for the rest of the series.
Yeah, because it hasn't been that long since he lost his Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
it's about 10 years, but still, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, and I thought like Obi-Wan's mindset was gonna be, he didn't come and stop. He didn't try to get me. Maybe they're still good in him. And then that leads into the original series where Obi-Wan was like, yeah, there's no human left in that suit.
Yeah.
And that's why he lies to Luke. And I felt like that would have been a great parallel. But then they have episode 4. And episode 4, I think, is one of the worst things Disney has ever put out.
Honestly,
I thought that was terrible beyond belief. How could you, one, not know how lightsabers work? How do you slice through Obi-Wan slice through a stormtrooper? It should go right through him.
Because like when Mandalorian came, like when Mandalorian the first season 1, when Luke showed up, like when he was like slicing up those robots, like it wasn't like 4 slices on one robot. Like he was just like going boom, boom, like because it takes only one hit.
It takes one hit from
especially through a stormtrooper. Like I thought the scene was cool. Like when he was saving Leia, like in the dark, I thought that scene was sick. But like the way he was just going like he was like hitting with the tip of like the end of the lightsaber.
And I'm just I'm sick of like, oh, we gotta save Leia again, and then she's gonna have to get saved again in episode 4. I'm like, why are we always saving Leia? Now the Leia actress is amazing.
No, the cool.
I think she's the reincarnation of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, the cool parallel I like with her, like with those first few episodes, they like for like episode 4, 5, and 6, she like they portrayed like her little outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like for 4, like she had like a white outfit like she did in 4,
Mm-hmm.
and in the 5th one, she had like this pink little jacket on with her white, and that's when she was on Cloud City, and she got dressed up and all that. And
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and then she had like a green. In the next episode, she had a green jacket
Mm-hmm.
like she did in episode 6 when
Mm-hmm.
they were on Endor. I thought that was pretty cool. It's actually like it's what they try to do. It's just
Yeah,
like, I like parallels like that. It's just nice to see.
I just thought that episode was just terrible.
No, yeah, it was.
I don't snow speeders come in with no radar.
I don't think it was terrible,
and they just let them escape and don't even try. And then the slap on the stormtrooper that knocks him out. I'm like, what?
I forgot about this stuff.
And then the interrogation scene. Oh my gosh, that is some of the worst acting I've ever seen. And like I said, Lois Ingram, I know, is a great actress.
Just the writing, man.
But that you can tell that these people don't know Star Wars that are writing this story.
Bring up the story that we talked about, that one writer.
And then we found a story where the writer of Obi-Wan never saw Star Wars. Or he probably has, but like he didn't know that Obi-Wan knew Anakin Skywalker was Vader.
That means you haven't watched Star Wars.
That means you've never seen Star Wars.
That's literally like the first thing that ever came out of Star Wars is freaking Darth Vader.
Oh my gosh! But then we get to Episode 5. I really liked Episode 5, and you could tell that there was difference in writers.
Yes.
Because they had a new writer on board who's been big with a lot of Disney's best stuff. I forget his name. But I remember he was involved with a lot of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
You could tell that the story was better. And again, Vader coming in, just an absolute menace. Just so great to see. Like, a lot of people have been saying, he's overpowered.
No, I
think this fits Vader.
Yeah, but we got to talk about the beginning of Episode 5 first. Mm-hmm. That whole flashback.
Oh,
Coruscant.
Finally seeing Hayden Christensen.
I don't want you to skip that. But
I totally forgot. Because he's barely been in this show. Mm-hmm. They marketed him out to be a huge part of the show. He's barely in it.
But this is what I was like, because this is just a rumor I've been hearing. Mm-hmm. But because the way that like they marketed Hayden Christensen a lot, like throughout the whole promos, like commercials, all whatever. Like, but the rumor I've heard like for Episode 6 that it's gonna be like almost like movie length long. But I'm like. And then, like, there's a movie theater that's going to release the episode in their theaters.
I mean, it better be that long because I am sick of these 30-minute episodes. How can you do this character so dirty?
But, like, because I've been hearing, like, more and more and more rumors. Like, I look it up, like, how long this episode is going to be. It's, like, 93 minutes, like, an hour. Like, it's going to be, like, I hope it's long. Like, I'm cool if it's an hour. Like, that'd be great. But, I mean, there was a Disney Plus episode, like, for one of the shows that was an hour long. And they should do that more often.
Yeah,
Stranger Things did it.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that show, but...
How about this? Poor Qui-Gon Jinn, man. He is the only guy in Star Wars that cannot survive a lightsaber through the body.
Yeah.
Like, Darth Maul gets cut in half. Reva gets stabbed in the same spot twice and survives. And also, the dumbest thing about, I think, Episode 5 was, why would they just leave Reva there alive?
Who knows?
I thought that was just a very stupid decision. Yeah. Vader would never do that.
Maybe he's just trying to toy with her still. Maybe he's just that much of a dick.
Like, this dude's walking down streets, snapping children's necks.
Man,
is he really going to leave this person...
He just plays people.
...that betrayed him?
Vader just plays people, man.
I know, but, like, why would he just leave her... Like, he already...
No, I know, but
he said he already knew her intentions, and he used that. No, which is a great... Like, that's what Darth Vader would do. Mm-hmm. That's what a Sith would do. Yeah. But, like, he even said, your usage is now over. Yeah. That's when you kill her. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. It's just a reason to extend her story, which... Yeah. I do like her backstory and everything. Her motivations are good.
The character is great. They just didn't execute her character good. Like,
again, and I also hope in Episode 6 they don't turn her into a good guy. You know, because she's not a good guy.
I'm worried that
she's been an Inquisitor, even though her goal was to kill Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. She did so. She got to that point by like killing a lot of fucking people. Yeah, a lot of people, and you can't just turn her like that. when you lay no foundation for that. So I hope that's not where they're going with that story.
Yeah, but this is my problem. I feel like episode 6 is gonna start off with a lot of like Reva backstory, which I'm worried about. I don't think they're gonna do that.
Then why call it Obi-Wan Kenobi? Just call it Reva.
I guess.
With side characters Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader.
With co-hosts Obi-Wan and Vader.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean,
it's not gonna happen.
They gotta stick this landing on episode 6, and hopefully it turns out to be fantastic.
There was another Hayden Christian promoted the show again, saying get ready for the rematch of a lifetime. I'm sure, like, they're definitely going to... Episode 6 is going to be one of the best things I think we're ever going to get in
I think
Star
it's going to be a rematch on Mustafar, because they're going to pull a Last Jedi with the Star Destroyer chasing the little ship.
And I'm fine with
that. And then you're going to have Obi-Wan in a pod escape, and then Vader's going to follow, and they're going to go to Mustafar.
That's a good theory.
I think that's what's going to happen.
That's a good theory.
And then they're going to duke it out. We better get another high ground scene. I want my high ground.
What if Vader gets the high ground?
And he still loses, because he has to lose.
He just jumps on like a floating robot, and Obi-Wan is like, I have the high ground out, bitch.
And then slices his legs off again.
But my favorite scene, honestly, like the Vader scene when he's pulling down the transport ship. Hold on.
Cool.
That's not my favorite scene.
Even though it kind of looked funky. The graphics.
Honestly, but still, that's not my favorite scene. After that, when he's fighting Reva just with the Force, that is the best.
He's just toying with her.
But like once he steals her lightsaber, like he just snaps him in half and just throws it into him. He's like, take it. You don't.
And it's awesome. He doesn't even pull his own lightsaber. It's like, you're not worth my time.
But then like once they're fighting with the two, like he just knocks the one out of their hand and just grabs it back. But I like the stance that he does. He does like this.
Yeah.
With the two of them, like.
It's cool to see that they're like, okay, Reva. This whole show is Reva this, Reva that.
Her character,
but at the end of the day, she is irrelevant to Darth Vader.
Yes,
she is nothing.
Her character was really good in episode 5.
Oh, very good.
She did so good in episode 5.
Huge improvement.
Like the acting was great, the writing was so much better, and like just her character development is so much better.
It's getting better, but like I said, they've left no like groundwork for her to turn good. Yep. But I feel like that's what they're gonna do, because that's what they do with
because they kind of just like went like really quick, like when Obi-Wan was talking to her, like how quick she just like. Yeah. I mean, she had like a motive, like she wanted to kill Vader because she knew who she was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like they just went like that really quick after Obi-Wan talked to her. But I like that she was still trying to go after Obi-Wan still. Yeah. But like, yeah. That's good. It was really good.
Yeah, so hopefully episode 6 sticks to the landing, and we will be here to talk about it.
I don't want to say one more thing, but I want to say one more thing about Reva, or just Star Wars in general. When you see someone get stabbed by a lightsaber and they don't die on screen, they're still alive. Oh yeah, just like Grand Inquisitor. But we knew that because Rebels. But
yeah, because of Rebels.
Surprised people actually thought he was actually dead. Idiots. I just thought it was stupid how he.
Well, knowing Disney, I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't bring him back, because they give no crap about canon.
No, they do. They just.
They don't care.
No, they care. They
killed Luke Skywalker in episode 8 because he got tired.
Yeah, he's also old, but like it was still really bad.
Yeah,
it was shit. Those movies. Fuck those movies.
Oh god, we can go on for hours about 7, 8, 9 and how bad they are.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I don't want to.
Yeah, because they don't exist.
Exactly.
They're not real.
None of them exist. Even
they're not real.
None of them exist.
Just like this show, it's not real.
Wait, what show?
Well, this podcast.
Oh, this show.
Wait, we're on a podcast.
Oh yeah, we are. Forgot we were having a conversation. Forgot we were on a podcast. This is good.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
This is a great podcast. You should watch.
This is how the bros talk. I guess we just forget.
You should watch more.
Well, till next time, guys.
That's pretty shit.
Till next time.
Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave.